and welcome back. Today I'm going to do a follow-up on one of the digs I did a while back where I found several different types of button, including 2 livery buttons. So join me now and we'll have a look at some of the items and give a little history on the items that we found on that day. So we'll start off with the first of the livery buttons, which was actually a slip of oak button. So this was the first button that came up, and you can see it has a slip of oak on the front, and on the back it actually has some details on the maker. So I was able, with a little bit of research, to discover that this was S.E. Shaw, and they were 6 Castle Street, Leicester Square, and they were based there from 1830 to 1835, and they were a manufacturer of military buttons. Unfortunately, with regards to the slip of oak crest on the livery, that particular type of crest, or variant of that type of crest, is actually used by over a dozen families according to Fairbairn's Book of Crests. So I wasn't able to pin that down to any one particular family, which was a shame. But still, that was my first livery button I had up, and I was very pleased with that. And then the next one I had up was this one. Very much smaller, and again, having a look in Fairbairn's Book of Crests, there are actually over 70 families using a variant of this particular type of crest. You can see it has a goat head on it. Nothing on the back, unfortunately, even the shank has come off. Very small button, probably would have been gilded at some time, but again, unfortunately, no way of pinning down the one particular family that had this crest. So in the case of the 2 livery buttons, not really much history on this one, a little bit of history on the other one, in that it dated between 1830 and 1835 and came from S.E. Shaw in 6 Castle Street, Leicester Square. This particular one, nothing, unfortunately. So that left me with the 2 probably most interesting buttons I found, and they were these 2. So as you can see, there are horses on both of them, one facing to the left, one facing to the right. And initially I thought they were buttons, and then various people have suggested 2 possible alternatives. One is that they are bridle rosettes, and certainly if you look at the backs of them, they've got sizable shanks on them, which would have positioned them facing to the left and right on a bridle. And so that was one alternative, bridle rosettes. And you can see an image of bridle rosettes on a horse just above. And the other alternative was that they could actually be cloak buttons. And again, the image up in the corner of cloak buttons, they would have been attached to the cloak, one on either side, and then there would have been a length of chain running between them to actually fasten the cloak. So 2 interesting alternatives. What are your thoughts on those? If you do have any comments, then please leave a comment below on what you think they could be. So there you go, that's a couple of the buttons that I found on the last dig I was out on. So join me again soon when I will be going through a rundown of some of the things I found on my last mudlarking trip up to the Thames, and we were in front of Greenwich Palace. So join me then and we can have a look at some of the things I found while I was out mudlarking. So until then, keep safe, keep well, and get out with the detector, and hope you find some good things. So join me again soon. Thank you very much. Bye bye.